Hello everybody, this is Dave the Rave roving the rock here, and today I'm at Whiting Bay Beach. I've just come out. I'm going to drive past Kildonan and on about another 2 or 3 miles, and then I'm going to go for a walk where I know that there's a good walk that takes me to the top above Bennan Head where the Black Cave is, and there's a nice view of Kildonan, and I want to go and see that. I'm just enjoying seeing this dog running about. It's got so much energy, full of the joys of life. Throw her a ball, come back again, get a wee treat, charge about. Happy dog. It's nice to see. To have energy like that must be great. There's the wee treat. What a good dog. There we go. Lovely Martley. Charge. Anyway, that's not what I'm out for, but it's nice to see. Health and vitality and happiness. It's great. So I'm at Whiting Bay Beach, like I said, and as you can see, the tide's out. It's just starting to turn. It was out about maybe 3/4 of an hour ago, so. But you're seeing Whiting Bay Beach at its best, really, as far as the sand goes. I'll turn around. And there's the Holy Isle. A bit of a grey day, but I'll settle for this at this time of year, beginning of December, because there's no rain forecast. There is a stiff breeze, onshore breeze, and I'm feeling it as far as the temperature goes. But I'm happy. This'll do. It's decent walking weather, and that's what I'm out for. Just while I'm here, I actually decided to film the beach just right here deliberately, because I was passing and I thought, do you know, the Arran Art Gallery, it's such a pretty shop window. I think what I'm going to do is just stop here for a wee second as well and have a look at all the display in the window. So I really like that painting there of Whiting Bay Church at Sambraze. Yep. So many paintings in there, and the shop goes really, it's a very deep shop, goes right back. I'm not going to go and annoy anybody. That's very colourful, isn't it? It's nice, like that. I can't say I'm an art expert, but I do like things with colour in them. Yeah. Looks good, doesn't it? Yeah, put it up there. There we go. A lot to see, and I'm getting distracted. That's not what I'm here for, but it does look nice. I'm here for a walk, and I better get on with it. So I'll get back in the car and make my way along, and I'll turn the camera back on when I'm just going to start my walk. I'm glad to be out anyway, that's the main thing. I don't want to be cooped up the whole time. I'm still not feeling great, but I'm at least making an effort, and that's the main thing. Okay, I'll get on with it now. Well, I've just stopped off on the way there. This is actually just at High Kildonan, and this is a big lay-by right at the side of the main road. And the reason I'm stopped here, apart from the fact it's just a wonderful view, it's just the best place to come if you've got a motorhome or a camper van, and that's the point. Lovely big flat area, just made for it. Even if I lived in Arran, I think I would come up here sometimes with a camper or motorhome, because the view is spectacular. I mean, really quite unbelievable, to be fair. I'll get that in a second. Swinging back round, there's a walk there as well. It goes all the way to Whiting Bay up that track. That's handy. Certainly good if you've got a dog. You go for a dog walk. Well, I'll show you the view. I'll just go over to this gate here. It's a windy day today, and it's going to get windier because tomorrow's quite fierce winds forecast actually. I'm just walking over to this gate post here, and I'm just going to steady the camera on the gate post there and take in the view. Right, that'll do. Now the thing is, people will be familiar There's the Isles of Craig and Plada, and that's just an amazing view in itself, isn't it? But the other thing I quite like about today, the clouds are going past quite quickly because it's windy, and I like the way the sun is just poking out through the clouds as well, and just all these different layers of clouds, you know, like we've got the kind of yellow brightness of the sun at the top. I'll bring the camera back a bit just to get that bit better. There. And then the kind of orangey hues below it, just above Plada. And the grey layers, horizontal layers, and then the cumulus clouds as well. And the Isles of Craig and Plada and the green fields. It's just beautiful. I mean, that's a painting, isn't it? Isn't that gorgeous? And if you look, like, there's a little black cloud going past. You can just see it moving. I'm holding the camera dead still. If I stay here long enough, it'll go in front of the sun. Yeah, I will do. There's one just about to go in front of the sun. It's just coming now. I'll bring the camera up a bit more so you can see. There. Look how grey and menacing they look. Aren't they amazing? And that sun's been obliterated now, isn't it? It's just disappearing. That contradiction of the clouds, the promise and the menace in the same sky. Isn't it lovely? Like a bit of watercolour. Anyway, maybe I'm the only one that thinks like that. Probably. Crazy. There we go, bring it back again. There's my painting for the wall, with the black at the top and the islands at the bottom. Maybe a bit further back. There? Is that better? Is that the best? Try and keep the camera horizontal. Yep, I'd say that's amazing. And I'm not getting any walking done, am I? There we go. I'll bring it back. I'll just zoom around here. I'll show you. Standing on some wobbling about. There's the rest of the view there. Amazing, isn't it? Right, I'll go and get on. Well, here I am now at a very windy place, looking down on Kildonan. It's really cold, to be fair. It looks amazing. What a view again. And that's where I'm going, to the top of that little hill there. God, I'm nearly getting blown off my feet here. Going up that track, avoid all those cows, and then go along the top of that hill there. That's the road towards Kilmorey and Lag. And I've parked my car down there in the lay-by. Gosh, it's windy. It really is. My goodness. Anyway, I better go and get on with it. This is my view back up the track I've just come down. And over all the countryside. The main road just goes past those houses in the distance there. And away along over there, in fact you can see the vehicle with its lights on, I think. I'll zoom in a little bit. Yeah, there you go. You see the vehicles. There's the main road. A green and pleasant land, isn't it? Little cottages and farms scattered about. And I'm going right down this track here, past the farm. I've not been down this track before, but that's what I figure's the best way, since that hillside there's full of, I don't know if it's cows or bulls. I'm going to try this way and then cut across later on. That's my plan. See how I get on. Oh my goodness, I'm enjoying myself. This hasn't been a difficult walk. I absolutely went the right direction. This could be a painting just with the view in the distance, and you can see where I'm going to, right over there. I'm going through this gate. It's just inviting me through, isn't it? I'm not going to go and look over to the left to show you the view because I'm not quite there yet. You can see Isles of Craig just in the top left. Amazing. That point there, which I'm looking at in the distance, the last piece of land, is the bit of land right above the Black Cave. That's it. This is at Bennan Head, and that's where I'm going. Straight through that gate and up to there, and then I'm going to turn and get the view, and I'll show you what I'm looking at. But I can show you around this way, certainly. This has been lovely. I'm enjoying being out again. I'm enjoying being out. And one thing I'd say, my goodness, it's cold. I mean, it's windy. This is windy out here, and this one bit here is actually slightly sheltered, but it's been very windy. And it's a biting wind. It's actually sore on my face, you know that way where it's so cold and bitter that your face is sore, and I've got gloves on and they're still sore. So this is cold out here today, but that's the wind exposure that's doing that, but it's still worth it. I'm not complaining. I'm getting blown along because it's behind me. This is great though. Look at all these little kind of heads protruding out, all these places you can go to get the view. Just wonderful. Unsurprisingly, not a lot of trees here. Of course the animals will be nibbling things, but it's going to be very, very windy. This is like the southernmost tip of the island, so it's going to be wind blasted. So I think that's fair to say. You're not expecting to see a lot of trees. It'll be over at a crazy angle or something. Right, I'll get over there. Just when I'm talking about wind blasted trees up on that horizon, I can see some, so I'll try and focus in on them and show you. Hopefully we can see the angles of the trees up there. There they are. Go a bit more. There. I don't know if that's focusing properly. Hopefully it is. Can you see that they're all bent in at an angle from left to right? Because that's where the sea is on the left, so that's where the wind's coming from. It is on a slope, so that's why it's not quite straight. Well, I've come all the way up over that hill, which that's where the best viewpoint is. I'm back down here just to see what it's like. I've got this stone wall. I could go further. I'm not sure if you could get down to that shore there or not, but I don't think I'm going to go any further. I'm tempted to go over the wall and on top of that little rocky bit there and see what that's like. That might be quite nice. In any case, this is the view from where I am, and it's quite something. I don't think it'd be any better from there because I'd be lower down, and I can see along the shore from here anyway, so I don't think I will actually. But that's quite good, isn't it? Going along the shore there, and that takes you all the way along to Lag and Comori along that shore. It's kind of rocky there, but as you go along it, it gets sandier and sandier until it becomes one of the best beaches in the island actually. But that bit's quite a tricky walk. Okay, well, I'll go back up the hill I think. Some cliff facing the right as well. Okay, I'll just walk back up there and then I'll turn the camera on and I'll get the view of Kildonan. Well, here I am. I'm at the point. My goodness, the wind's strong. I can hardly stand up. I'm leaning back towards, away from it. I just want to point this over for a little bit. I want to show you. This is a vertical drop right in front of me. I'm at the very edge of a cliff. I'm getting wind blasted. I'm just going to lie down actually, and then I'm going to show you the view. Oh. Let's go over here. That's what we'll do. Good grief. Yeah, I'll go here I think. That's not a bad one. Yeah, there. That's the highest point. Okay. Basically, I'm gonna lie down here because the wind's too strong for me to do anything. Oh. Absolutely blasting. That's some view, isn't it? I'm about what? 5 foot from the edge of the cliff. Well, it's just there, at the edge of that bit of grass there. That's where it is. But anyway, I'm not scared, I'm lying down, but I really am at the edge. Well, here I am at my viewpoint. I've just put the camera on a rock to hold it steady, so it's a bit more settled, because it's very windy up here. I can go right to the edge where that kind of boulder is in the distance, but this is the best place for focusing in, so I'm just going to focus in on the village from here. I hope the camera stays still, best chance. There we go. That's a good view, isn't it? Kildonan from Bennan Head. It's very windy up here, it really is blasting, but happily I'm managing to hold this still so we can see what's going on down there. It's good, isn't it? And then I'm going a little bit more. There, see houses and everything. I'll try and turn it round a bit. We'll get round the corner to Kildonan Hotel. That's nice, isn't it? There. Hold it still there. No question, that's a good view. A little bit of brightness in the sky, but most of the sky is dark grey. Kind of menacing today. Bit of colour in those fields though, nice and green. And if I focus in on the sea a little bit, see the waves rolling in there? And the tide's about halfway in now. It's coming in quite fast. Nice, isn't it? And the cliffs there. Yeah, I'll go a bit higher. There we go. The house is up on the hill. Gosh, it's windy here. There we go, pull all the way back. And that's what the view's really like. And I'll swing around. And there's Plada out there. Quite stark, isn't it? Just grass, kind of tough grass. Little fence right at the edge of the cliff, I mean right on it. And then that sheer drop down. And I'll swing around a bit more. And the Ailsa Craig is over there. Unsurprisingly, I'm the only one that's enjoying this view today, apart from some sheep who have disappeared from sight. And if anybody was out here, they'd want to be wearing quite a bit of clothing, because it is cold, I tell you. I'll just stand up and go towards the edge a bit more. 1 second. Just to show you can get closer. The difference is though, as I get to the edge, the wind picks up, and because you're right at the edge of a cliff, which is what I am here. As you can see, there. And now it's difficult to stand up. Whoa! Yes, don't want to go over. Luckily the wind's blowing towards me, not away from me, so that's good. Blowing me back. It's the right direction. Okay. Oh, come away from there. That'll do, I think. Yet again, I've enjoyed myself. I'm to head back up over there and go back home. But there you go, that's the view of Kildonan from Bennan. I'll show you the view. Just as I'm walking back again, I thought I'd tell you my thoughts for the day. And I was watching Channel 5 and they had a debate in Channel 5 this morning about the obesity crisis and how much heavier everybody's getting than they used to be. And the question was whether that is the individual's fault because it's their responsibility, or is it society in general that has to deal with that? It's really beyond the control of the individual. And I started off watching it thinking that of course it's the individual's responsibility, because we're all in charge of our own welfare, we make our own decisions. I've always believed that. How can it be anybody else's job to make sure that I'm the right way? I decide what I put in my mouth. It's a simple subtraction. Calories in, calories out. So it seemed like a simple thing. It's my fault, okay? I'll just tuck this strap in here because it's blowing about. What a wind. And then when you think about it though, somebody said in the programme, but life's got so much harder that they don't have as much control as you used to have. And that's interesting. I was born in the 60s and brought up as a child in the 60s and the 70s. And I've always thought life was harder then than it is now. So was it? That's the question. I mean, I know we used to go hungry, we didn't have as many things, we didn't have much in the way of clothing or gadgets to make our life easier. In a lot of ways, it just seems like life was harder. We've come on so far with the internet and electric things, machines. Everybody's got cars now. A lot of people didn't have cars then, most people didn't. And we went hungry sometimes, and you know, it seems to me people don't go hungry now. They get benefits, the minimum wage, all the kind of things they didn't have before. And so is life harder? That's a new idea for me. I've always thought it was better when I was young, but also harder. But is it harder now? Well, here's the markers. I was thinking about it. What's the markers of a hard life? 1 second. That's fine. Camera's still recording. Made a funny noise. What's the markers of a hard life? I think there are probably 4. One being, how long do we live? Well, for the first time ever, people are living less long than they used to. Life expectancy is decreasing. Okay. How long do they stay in relationships? Not long at all nowadays. In the old days when I was young, everyone was married, stayed together, almost entirely for life. Very few people got divorced, and almost nobody was single. Now single's kind of normal, and marriages don't last long, and almost nobody gets married anymore. I would say most kids are brought up in a home where there aren't 2 married parents living together, the same parents that were their parents. So that's got harder. Okay, what else is there? There are more benefits now. Okay, I've said that. But why are there more benefits now? I say the reason is because they're needed. Because there's a bigger disparity now between the rich and the poor than there ever has been in history in recorded times. The previous biggest disparity was Victorian times, and we've surpassed that now. The numbers that I heard was that in Victorian times, the top 1% had 130 times the amount of money of the other 99% on average, but now it's over 200. So the disparity is growing. So maybe there are more benefits, food banks, etc., because there need to be, because life's harder. Okay, what else? Well, when I was young, almost everybody got weekends off. Shops and things weren't open in the weekend or the late evenings or all night. Services didn't run at antisocial times unless they were required to, like a hospital or something, emergency. Now, people, including myself, work shifts, work all different hours, night, day, mix them about, days, nights, long, short, split shifts maybe. And it's very difficult for people to see each other, so that doesn't help relationships. And weekends really don't exist anymore for an awful lot of people, so that's got harder. What else is different? Well, Retirement. People retire older than they used to. You know, a man would be 65, a woman was 60. Now we're up to, I think, 68 for everybody, and they're talking about putting it up to 70. And they're talking about putting it up to 70, even though people are starting to live less long, because they've got the obesity crisis, as it turns out. We're smoking less, we're drinking less, but we're eating far too much. So the only other measure I can think of, houses. I remember hearing that the real price of houses about 10 years ago had quadrupled in real terms over the 50 years previously. So, and I have heard that the millenniums, the people that are born in the 90s and the noughties, just can't afford houses anymore, and they're having to live at home in their 30s. Some of them, they think, might never afford a house. So that's got harder. So really I'm left asking, maybe that's right. What's got easier? More technology. That's it, really. And people are in more debt than they used to be as well. So that's my lesson for today that I've learned. I've spent all my life thinking that life was harder when I was young. And in fact, I think it's harder now. Actually, the good old days really were the good old days, and I'm not just seeing it through rose-tinted spectacles. I actually think they were. So maybe that is the reason for the obesity crisis, more than personal responsibility. So that's my lesson for today that I've learned from the telly, and I think they're probably right. I'll continue to be responsible. I'm managing well enough to be responsible for my weight, but I can understand how a lot of people find it very difficult. And the same person, if they're born in the 60s or born in the 90s, the same person, because people don't change, just times change, which one would find it easier? Because they're really, just about everybody was slim in the 60s and 70s. And I actually do think now, the one born in the 90s or so has got a harder time. So that's my lesson. There's my wee chat for today. That's my bonus points. I've stopped here because I've got to open this gate and go through it. So I'll leave you this last glimpse of where I've been. There we go. Okay. Davetheraverovingtherock. Till next time, take care. Over and out.